Renault appears to have gone product crazy here at Geneva. I mean, first of all, there's the Scenic and the new Grand Scenic over there. There's also the new look Clio. And of course there's a Renaultsport version. But the car I'm most interested in is the Renaultsport Megane. I'm here with Steve Marvin, Renaultsport's chief engineer. So, Steve, this car, most important thing about it is probably going to be its engine. What is it?
Well, the engine's a 4-cylinder, 2-litre turbocharged engine, vaguely based on the old model, the same engine in the old Megane RS. What we've done here is we've increased power by 20 horsepower. We've increased torque by 40 newton meters, and we also enabled it to be compliant with Euro 5 emissions as well.
Okay, so basically extra 30 horsepower, you said.
Well, extra 20 horsepower, we take it to 250 horsepower, so it's 20 compared to the previous version in the R26, 25 compared to the version in the base car, in the base Megane RS. And plus 40 newton meters, taking it to 340 newton meters of torque.
So what does that mean in terms of 0 to 62 times? What are we going to be able to get out of this?
We should be around about 6.1 seconds, something like that, for the 0 to 62.
I mean, that's incredibly quick. How about torque steer? What have you done to help minimise torque steer with all that power going through the front wheels?
Well, as for the previous Megane, we've kept the same twin-axis front suspension, which enables us to decouple the steer axis from the strut axis of the front suspension. This enables us to reduce the hub level offset by about 60% compared to a conventional McPherson strut suspension, and reduces torque steer to really very, very low levels.
Now, I've driven the R26R, and that's really impressive. I mean, there's a little bit, you can feel a little bit through the steering wheel, but not much at all. Pretty much the same thing on this one then?
It's pretty much the same thing as this one. We're obviously looking with the increased power and the fact that we haven't taken much weight on compared to the previous generation. We're about the same, almost exactly the same weight as on the previous version of the Megane RS. We're looking for similar sort of power to weight ratio figures as we achieved with the R26R, if not exactly the same, but the same sort of acceleration as in that car. And we believe that the work we've done on the chassis has taken the car a step further compared to what we knew on the R26 and on the R26R even.
So you're talking about the chassis. Obviously this is a completely new chassis. How about in terms of handling then, and the suspension? What have you done to it? I mean, what can we expect compared to the old car?
It's we've taken the same basic principles of what we did with the old car, but we've also taken the benefit of our 5 years of experience of developing the old car. As many people know, we did quite a few versions, up to 4 or 5 versions of the old car, which culminated in the R26R version. And each time we learnt a little bit more, which enabled us, when we started to do some computer modelling on this car to lay down the fundamentals of what physically we needed to do to it, we had a very good idea of what we were looking for. So we're increasing roll stiffness, we're decoupling roll stiffness from ride comfort. The result is that we're able to have a much better ride and handling compromise with a car that corners much flatter. You mustn't forget that it's 40 millimetres lower than the old car. It's 77 millimetres wider in front track. So the result is a car that corners flatter, that goes faster around bends, and is very impressive, both in the sports chassis version and in the cup chassis version, which comes as standard with the limited slip differential.
Okay, you talked about 2 versions there, and you also mentioned the R26R, the old version. Will we see an R26R of this one?
Well, as the expression goes, never say never. It's not on the cards straight away, but the R26R was used as a good way to animate the range at the end of its life, and really to put the full stop on the Megane RS, the current Megane RS. Everything's possible.
But that's a car that will obviously come at, like you say, the end of the range. When does this new model actually go on sale?
We're looking for it to go on sale towards the end of this year, around about October time.
Okay, all new, faster than the old car, handles better. Will it be more expensive?
We're looking to keep the price as close as possible to the old ones. Obviously it's too early now because we're going to be selling the car in October to confirm what the price will be, but it won't be an awful lot different to the current vehicle.
And your main rival, obviously, the Ford Focus RS?
Yes, it has to be the Ford Focus RS, even if we're at a price point a little bit lower than the Focus RS.
Okay then, so from October you'll be able to have another high performance hot hatch on the market in the shape of this rather yellow Renault Sport Megane.